Now closing comments from First District Congressman Tim Walz.
Well, first of all, thank you all for being here, and thanks, as Colin said, to the folks who wrote this farm bill. You stuck it out, you navigated some very difficult waters, and you kept the perseverance, which is no surprise. That's how you live your lives. I'd also like to thank, as I said, my mother is here up from our farm. She brought me eggs and steaks from the farm where her parents lived. I think somewhere around here, my mother-in-law is here also, and as I always say, behind every successful man is an astonished mother-in-law. And I say that because we all know farming is far more than the incredibly important economic activity that it is. It is, but it's the place where we learn the value of hard work. It's a place where we learn the value of family. It's a place where we learn the value of community. It's a place where bickering and rhetoric doesn't matter. Results matter. It's a place of coming together to solve problems and understanding some things are out of our control. But those things that are in our control, we should take charge of. We should be thoughtful. We should talk to our neighbors. And you can disagree in a manner that doesn't burn down the place. You can disagree in a manner that doesn't question your neighbor's love of this country. You can simply disagree on the policies, because at the end of the day, our goal is the same: to create the fairest country that provides opportunity to all, where hard work is rewarded. And you can do all that and still have social consciousness, understanding that we can have good schools, we can have safe roads, we can have clean drinking water. And we can do those by finding solutions that work. We don't need to trade in the policies that continue to curse the darkness. Light the candle, get things done. You proved that it can be done. If we take this model to other issues, this country can accomplish anything. Thank you.
And now comments from First District candidate.
Thank you very much to the panel and to Farmfest for giving us this opportunity to introduce ourselves to the voters. My name is Aaron Miller, and I'm running to be the next congressman of the 1st Congressional District. I was born and raised in a small farm family in central Iowa, and I can assure you that farming back then is not what farming is today. I'm amazed at the complexities of farming and really the science that you employ on a daily basis to make us the most efficient and most productive ag community in the world. And when I get to Washington, D.C., folks, I want you to understand that I'm going to be a tireless advocate for free trade agreements. We need open markets for our products. Congress must make sure that it has oversight of regulatory agencies and that the legislative intent is followed, not implied by unelected bureaucrats. All legislative intent should be based on clear and sound science. We need the prompt implementation of the Farm Bill. It's crucial, clear intentions. It's going to be vital to our agriculture down here. We need backing for access to affordable and flexible credit. We need to repeal the death tax so that farmers can pass their farms on to their sons and their daughters, generation to generation. And lastly, Congress needs to understand that healthcare regulation and tax policies greatly affect farmers and need to be taken into account. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Aaron Miller, and I humbly ask for your support this November for the 1st Congressional District. Thank you.
And now, First District candidate Jim Hagedorn.
Thanks so much for everybody being here, Farmfest, and everyone. I was born on a grain and livestock farm just outside of Truman. My father was a farmer, grandfather, and great-grandfather farmers. I have a deep appreciation for rural Minnesota and for family farming. That's the type of advocacy I would take to Washington on your behalf. You're also looking for somebody in Washington that can be effective out there. I have some experience moving bills of government reform through that system, understanding how Washington functions and dysfunctions. I can be a very good advocate for you in agriculture in Washington, D.C. Congressman Walz and I, we agree on the Farm Bill. We think that's the best way to go for farmers and those programs. But where we disagree fundamentally on how to help farmers is in the big stuff that's going on right now in Washington, the things we need to address in the next Congress and the Congress after that. We disagree on Obamacare. I think it's hurting farmers and driving up costs, and we need free market reforms. I disagree on cap and trade energy. That's a 5% effective tax on every agriculture operation out there. We need energy independence led by gas and oil exploration on federal lands. We need distribution points, refineries, pipelines. I disagree on Dodd-Frank. That was a bad bill. It's hurting community bankers, it's hurting rural America, and it's preventing young people from getting into farming. It needs to be repealed completely. And I totally disagree on these EPA and other regulations coming out of Washington, D.C. from this Obama administration that has put a bullseye on small business, a bullseye on farmers, a bullseye on the consumers that are driving up their costs. My friends, I want to go to Washington, D.C. and put my foot down and stop this stuff and defend this country. Thank you.
Candidate Tom Emmerman.
Thank you very much. It is an honor to be here. It's an honor to be up here with some great people who have all raised their hand to serve their country and to serve their communities. And I'm just proud to be one of them. I want to thank our panel for some great questions today, even if we couldn't hear once in a while. My name, for those of you who might be listening on the radio, is Tom Emmerman, and I am a candidate for Congress in Minnesota's 6th Congressional District. Now, I've had a great experience over the past few years to get to know a lot of people in this state, and I see a lot of familiar faces in this room. People who run for these offices are running to serve. Yes, we have a political perspective, but the purpose is to serve the constituencies, and there are great challenges ahead. And frankly, in my opinion, there are great opportunities. Where's the next generation of farmer going to come from? The average age is somewhere between, whoever you're talking to, 53 to 58. Policies in Washington are absolutely going to affect the next generation of farming in this country. And I think the culture in Washington, frankly, and all the way down, whether it's the state of Minnesota or locally, needs to change. Government needs to be reminded by the people who we hire to serve that it was created to serve its constituents, not to rule over them. I'd like to be part of the solution, and that's why I'm running. I would like to be one of those people that helps government get back to serving the people that it's supposed to be serving. Thank you again. My name is Tom Emmer, running for Congress in Minnesota's 6th District, and if you live there, I'd appreciate your vote.
And now, closing comments from 6th District candidate Rhonda Sivaraja.
Hi, I am Rhonda Sivaraja. I'm a 5th generation Minnesotan, and I know what the name Sivaraja probably doesn't sound like it. My maiden name was Larson, and that would have been a heck of a lot easier. As I said, I grew up in rural Minnesota. Actually, my first job was riding my bicycle up to my great-uncle's house, cooking breakfast for him, washing all the milk pans, riding my bike back home, going back and doing the same thing at noon, and then cooking lunch for those that were haying on the farm. So I understand that as farmers, you take great risks. Your job is 24/7, 365 days a year. You do not get a break. And this country needs to be grateful for that. We need to recognize what it is that you contribute to our country and to our economy. The federal government needs to get out of the way so that you can grow your businesses, the farms, and survive. We need to make sure that you also have the opportunity to pass that on to the next generations so that they can continue the great legacy that you've started. They need to be able to live the American dream. I'm currently chair of the Anoka County Board of Commissioners, and in that capacity, I have been a strong supporter of extension services because I think it's important to continue to educate the next generation as to the importance of ag in our society. I've also focused on reducing the tax burden and getting regulation out of the way so the businesses can grow and thrive. I would take the same approach in Washington, D.C. to work hard for you. My name is Rhonda Sivaraja, and I would appreciate your vote on Tuesday, August 12th.
And now 6th District candidate Joe Percy.